Hey friends, welcome back to my channel where every Wednesday I upload a new pick a card video. And Olive does not want to get off my shoulders right now. She was getting very mad when I tried to get her down, so this is how the show must go on. Okay, so for today's pick a card, we're going to be taking a look at the month of November 2024 predictions, and I'm really excited to get into it because I feel like everybody has been going through some type of big emotional energy. Maybe like the start of new beginning is kind of coming for you, maybe like the ending of a really tough time. It really just depends on your situation, but anyways, either way, there has been some like big energy going on in everybody's life right now, and this will be really nice to just kind of get an idea of what to expect and the mindset that we should have as we approach the next month. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. Olive, want to say hi? Can you get down now? Before we get started, I'm just going to go ahead and cleanse my space and cleanse the cards and set intentions for providing the most accurate reading of my ability with everybody's highest good in mind. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Here we have piles 1, 2, 3, and 4. And what you're going to do is use your intuition to figure out which one of these piles here has the correct message for you to discover what your November of 2024 will look like. So here on each pile, we have different crystals. That way, if it's not necessarily a pile that you feel that you're drawn towards, maybe there's a crystal that is kind of pulling your eye towards it. So here on pile 1, we have some sardonyx. Also, sorry if my hands are kind of blue. I'm a hairstylist and I did blue hair earlier. So, okay. And then here on pile 2, we have some opalite. On pile 3, we have some amethyst. And on pile 4, we have some unakite. So feel free to pause the video, take a moment if you need to, and just take some time to discover which one of these piles has the message for you. And there are timestamps in the description below. That way, whenever you figure out which is the one, you can just skip right over to your reading. So with that being said, I will see you there. Okay, group number 1, this is going to be your reading for the month of November for 2024. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so we have the Eight of Wands to begin with. So this shows me that whatever is going to be taking place in the month of November is going to be happening really quickly. This is a card of quick movement and it's also a card of taking action. So maybe there's something that has been really on your mind, something that you've been really wanting to go towards, move towards. Maybe this is like some new habits that you want to pick up. Maybe this is like a new project that you want to start, or maybe applying for that job finally that you've been a little bit nervous to. Whatever it is that applies to you, that is something that you've been kind of thinking about but a little hesitant towards, this is your sign that you need to start taking action towards that because it's going to benefit you. So, kind of like letting go of limiting beliefs and just really kind of moving into a mindset of believing in yourself and being like, you know what? I'm just going to go for it because that's way better than not going for it and never finding out if that's the direction I should have gone. So, the month of November is going to be a month of taking action and forward movement closer towards your goals. Now, let's see what else we get here. Okay, so we have the death card reversed. So this shows me that you have, yeah, kind of what I was saying before is that you have been a little bit hesitant to make this change, to make this first step, or even if it's not your first step, your second step, whatever it is, but to make this next step forward towards your goals. And I do feel like that really is due to self-limiting beliefs or like fear. Sometimes, something that I just saw that's like kind of standing out to me for this reading is that sometimes logical thinking is just fear in disguise. So we kind of set ourselves up for failure because we are always, not trying to get our hopes up. That way we don't get let down, like that kind of thing. And so it just keeps us in this space of not being able to move forward because we're fearful of potentially not being as good as we hope we would be at that time. So there's definitely been a little internal resistance towards making this change. However, with the death card being in reverse, this shows me that there definitely needs to be some internal shifting before you can have the more external transformation forward. So, definitely shifting your mindset, looking inward a little bit, and discovering like, why haven't you been letting yourself kind of make those moves? Is it because you're worried about how others will perceive you? Is it because maybe society or certain people around you or even yourself have been putting these like standards on you that you just don't really align with? So it's making you kind of hesitant to like make this change. So yeah, just kind of like look inward, try and find the root cause of what is like creating that self-doubt in your mind. And then here we have the Justice card in reverse. So I do feel like there has just been an imbalance in the way that you are kind of living right now due to the fact that you are not taking action on the thing that actually excites you and actually brings you some form of joy when you are thinking about doing this. So I see the month of November, like, yes, it's going to be movement forward and taking action and all of this, but I do think it's going to be a time where you're finally allowing yourself to really like consider this other option. I definitely think it's something that you've considered before or really thought about, but not something that you've, again, like just fully gone for. And so I feel like part of this forward movement in the month of November is going to be you going through this internal transformation and kind of balancing out the way that you have felt like you're not fully living to your potential. Oh my gosh, I keep talking weird. like like kind of leveling out the imbalance of not living in a way that feels good for yourself or authentic for yourself, and just spending more time for the things that bring you joy and just kind of like planning that out, figuring out how that's going to go. Here we have the Queen of Pentacles. So this is stepping into a position that is a little bit more organized, more grounded. It's a very like calming, nurturing energy, but one that is like just very on top of it. Like the Queen of Pentacles, she knows exactly what she has to do. She's going to have her little schedule to do it. And she's just really organized and she's not stressed because there is a time for everything that she needs to get done. And so she's not going to worry about the next thing until it's time for that next thing. So maybe that's, oh, yeah, that's a message that's kind of coming in right now for you, is to be more in the present moment. And I do believe that that's also going to shed some of that self doubt, because when you keep looking into the future to kind of like validate your ideas, it can almost make it a little bit worse because you can't even imagine what the future is going to be like because this is just something so new. So it's easy to kind of like talk yourself out of it. Like that's our like instinct, is to protect ourselves from these hardships, and a hardship is potentially trying something new. So I do feel like just being more in the present moment and enjoying the process, the journey, the obstacles, the successes, and taking more time for relaxation. I'm kind of getting that here with like the little balance and the Justice card being in the reverse and then having the Queen of Pentacles here. This shows me that you are not only going to be balancing out the way that you are living as far as like doing things that bring you more joy, but balancing out your work balance and your rest balance. That is going to be super, super helpful in just kind of opening up your mind to this new perspective and allowing a space for more creativity and thoughts and ideas. Also, with the Queen of Pentacles, I do feel like for some of you that like maybe this is career related, or even if it's just like let's say you make art and you have thought about selling it, like even if it's that a little side thing. I do feel like this is going to bring in more money for those of you that that applies to. Like the Pentacles can do with money, but it can also just refer to our material items in our life. So again, however that resonates for you, take it as is. But for those of you that this is maybe a little bit more focused on your career, I do see that bringing in more of an income and just more like overall stability. Okay, we have the Seven of Wands. So this card is about like kind of, it's about standing up for yourself and having to like really push through, perseverance, and just do what you have to do to kind of stay afloat. And so this shows me that this is something that you're going to be working on through the month of November. Because once you are shifting your mindset into one that you've never really been before, it's going to be a little bit tricky to kind of stay there sometimes, especially if things like start to kind of look like a past experience that maybe puts you into like, oh no, not this again, like that kind of mindset. So this is a reminder to push through and to really like keep fighting for yourself, not because you have to, but because you should really step into a position of believing that you are worthy of it and capable of it. And therefore, you are your true only obstacle. So to kind of like not give up on yourself and to just keep going because it's going to pay off. Okay, so now here we have the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. So, what I was just saying is that it can be a little bit easier to fall back into the bad patterns, those old cycles. This is what this can indicate in the reverse position. So, kind of falling back into those old patterns, I do believe that that's something that November is going to be bringing up as an opportunity for you to work on moving past that. So there may be some challenging moments in this month. However, it's all for your highest good because now you are aware that these are going to be coming and you can say, okay, I already know that something that may trigger my lack mindset might be coming up in my near future. So I'm going to go ahead and come up with these maybe affirmations or just like breathing techniques or just whatever it is that you know can like regulate your nervous system and just like proactively kind of do that. That way, when something comes up, you can say, okay, I knew this was going to happen. Now, remember, this is a time for me to practice being exactly who it is that I want to be and to not let it dictate my worth. So, that is what I'm really getting here with like this lesson of breaking those old cycles of kind of like giving up on yourself, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And then we have the Lover's card. Okay, so what I'm getting here with this, with the Lover's card, is a newfound love for yourself and for the life that you are creating for yourself. With the sun here, the sun represents joy and authenticity. So, because you're not going to be giving up on yourself and really standing up for what you believe in and what you want for yourself and pushing hard to break those old cycles, you're going to be creating a whole new love that you have for yourself, a whole new trust with yourself, and it's just going to create so much more excitement and motivation and inspiration on your journey to continue doing what actually brings you joy. Because I do feel that this is going to work out much better than you probably think it will. Like, you are super able to get through this, and it's just going to make things feel so much more exciting. Okay, so we have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. So this shows that there's definitely been a bit of a disconnect when it comes to like the family harmony and maybe again like struggling with abundance issues. Now, if this isn't career focused for you, then this would have to do with a lack of harmony in the family, lack of stability in the family. So potentially for some of you, something I'm kind of getting is like maybe the dynamic in the family house just isn't quite what you want it to be. Um, it's just not, oh, what is, yeah, it's just not exactly what you want it to be. Like maybe you and whoever you are there with, like maybe your partner, if you have one, or just whoever you're living with, or who's in your like home life. Maybe there's just things are done a little bit differently, or like there's not a viewpoint that y'all like see exactly the same on. And that's where this kind of like having to defend yourself energy comes through. So for some of you, maybe this is like working on a love with somebody that you live with, a friendship or a partnership, or family, just depending on that sort of thing. Maybe that is the negative cycle that you will be breaking, taking action forward to getting out of this broken cycle of instability and maybe like a negative way of talking, like towards yourself and towards others, breaking that cycle and bringing more love into it so you can kind of get out of this like lack area is what I'm trying to say. And yeah, so then for those of you that this is career focused, again, this is just stepping away from that from that like lack abundance or like financial hardship situation and moving towards more of a Queen of Pentacles situation where you just have more stability. Okay, so we have the Eight of Pentacles here. So the Eight of Pentacles is all about skill development. And when this is in the reverse, this shows that there may be a little bit of like a delay or a frustration or a lack of motivation moving forward. So maybe something else that I'm getting to is that this is not going, okay, the end goal is not going to happen as quickly as you would want it to be. And that may cause a little bit of a lack of motivation. Now, that doesn't mean that things are still not moving in the right direction. When this card comes up about like quick movement, like quick action taking, this is like you having a swift shift in your need and desire and want to just have things be better or more aligned or more authentic, however it resonates with you for yourself. Okay, so you are going to be taking action quickly at getting started on this, making that mindset shift. Now, the thing is that the overall goal, or however it is that you want to be feeling, living, making money, that sort of thing, that is not going to be a quick fix. That is going to take some time. There's going to be some progress, some steps back, because that is just the cycle of life. And that may feel a little bit discouraging because you may feel like, oh my gosh, things were like starting to get better, but then we had this little setback, and I just don't even know, like, why bother trying? So, even though that's not true at all, you should definitely keep trying, but that's, sometimes like the dialogue that we can have with ourselves. I know that's dialogue I've had with myself before. So this just indicates that there may be a little bit of a struggle on kind of like staying motivated. So trying to find things to be grateful for, finding gratitude for the things that you do have, celebration and all the teeny tiny baby steps is going to be really key, because when you can embody that energy of like gratitude and excitement and being proud of yourself, you're just going to draw more of that in. Okay. So here we have the Nine of Swords. This is releasing negative thoughts, releasing those self limiting beliefs, releasing going to a negative mindset first. So, in like, for example, if you make a product and you sell it, and you have an event you go to, and maybe you only sell like two things, you can either have the mindset of, oh my gosh, like I only sold two things. That really sucks. Or you can have the mindset of, I sold two things. I can't believe it that two people wanted two things from little old me. And I'm so excited. And hopefully next time I can sell three things. Like, being in that mindset is so much more productive and helpful because you're recognizing that you still did something. Like, that's so great. That's huge. Um, and then even if you did nothing, even if you sold absolutely nothing, you can say, you know what? Like, I am so proud of myself for stepping out of my comfort zone and just trying. Maybe the next time I can kind of brainstorm about what I did and what I liked, what I didn't like, and maybe I can change something a little bit and that'll give me different results the next time. So just kind of staying in that mindset of like releasing negative thoughts, releasing those self limiting beliefs, and just really pushing through and persevering and like finally standing up for what it is that you really want. So let's go ahead and get into some oracle cards here. Okay, what else do we have to say about the month of November? Here we have transition. So, transitioning into a much more empathetic and optimistic mindset is what I'm really getting for you. This card is connected to the moon. If you're like into the moon or like any moon rituals or anything like that, maybe harness some energy from the moon to kind of help with this transformation. Um, you can do this whenever, but a lot of times when trying to work on new beginnings, you can do that on a new moon. And there is definitely going to be one of those coming up. So, yeah, maybe just kind of look into that a little bit. Just even if it's just meditating or journaling or just setting intentions for what you want to be bringing in your life, it could be really, really helpful in regards to aligning that with the moon and just kind of using her energy a bit. And then here we have expansion. This is connected to the North Node. So this is all about, I mean, the future makes sense, all about your next month, what you are going to be putting into it energy wise, into yourself. How are you going to be expanding your life? And with the expansion card, not only does that, of course, mean like in the future what's coming, but it also means like you are going through an expansion towards alignment, like moving in a direction that is in alignment with you. So definitely just keep that in mind when it starts to feel a little bit unsure about if you're making the right choices and going in the right direction. Here we have deep knowing. So trust your intuition and trust your gut. Like trust that you know what you want for yourself. Trust that you know yourself better than other people know you. Really step into this position of recognizing that um, you know exactly what it is that you want and you are going to get it, and you're not going to allow the perception of others get in your way. Um, yeah, you're just kind of really done with not fully giving yourself or giving other people the power to not allow yourself to move forward. And here we have empathy. So, empathy, this is huge on the empathy with yourself. So, the way you're speaking to yourself, the way that you are speaking to the items around you, like even your house, for example. Like, if you're all the time like, oh my gosh, this house sucks, it's so dirty, blah, 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 like, try and just have a little bit more empathy for the things around you, for the people around you, and for sure for yourself. Okay, let's get into our next deck here. Oh, okay, here we have meditate and contemplate, new moon. Look at that. And this one is in Pisces. But yeah, just taking the, oh no, not my hair on the cards. Okay. Yeah, taking time to meditate, especially during a full moon. I mean, new moon. But of course, any time is totally perfect. But really just take time to evaluate the things that you're wanting to release, the things that you're wanting to embody, and then, the way that you can get there. And then here we have you are good enough. This is full moon in Virgo. Okay, so with the you are good enough card, this is just that reassurance that you are absolutely good enough to achieve what it is that you want to achieve, and you are deserving of it as well. And then here we also have nothing is yet set in stone. So the wonderful thing with this card is this just gives us the reassurance that we don't need to get so hung up on the what ifs, because who knows? Nothing is yet set in stone. And so if you start to make a shift one direction and you're like, okay, I thought this was actually going to be the best thing for me or for my family or for my work or whatever it is, but now that I've been doing it for a little bit, it's actually like not it's not clicking as much as I thought it would. That's okay. That's great, because like your fate is not set in stone. Like you can totally make the choice to be like, okay, I think I'm going to try something new and maybe head a different direction because this one's just not feeling like I thought it would. So that's a really good thing, is that you are still in control of your reactions, how you feel, how you're going to respond to people, and then the direction that you are going to move forward with based on what is currently going on at that time. So you are still in control and you know what's best for you, and you are worthy and good enough. Okay, let's get into these last cards here. Here we have joy. So again, there's going to be much more balance of just being happy, like doing things that make you happy, and then stepping into a more authentic lifestyle where, again, maybe for some of you, this is going to be a more joyful career, or being around people that bring you more joy, or expressing yourself, like your style or something like that. That's going to bring you more joy. Just letting go of being perceived and doing what makes you happy. Okay, so here we have the secret card. So I do think that along this journey, you're going to be discovering something about yourself that you didn't even really realize. And I think that's going to be your capability to like make stuff happen. Maybe there'll be something else with it, but that's like a really big thing standing out to me. Is you're going to be like, whoa, like I did that. Ooh, here we have fear. So, this is what you're going to be letting go of, not allowing fear to control you anymore, but allowing your motivation and excitement for the things that bring you joy to keep you moving forward, not fear keeping you stagnant. Okay, so that was your reading for today, group number one. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know down in the comments below what you think, how it resonated, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Group number two, this is going to be your reading for taking a look at November of 2024. So let's get into it. Okay, group number two. What is November going to be like? Ooh, okay. So here we have the Hanged One. So I think so. Okay. So the Hanged One. Okay, so in the basic tarot or like the regular tarot, the Hanged One is the Hanged Man. So this is all about a shift in perspective, opening up your mind to seeing things in a new light. Opening up your mind to maybe moving in a different direction than you thought you would be going in. So something new is going to be coming your way, and it's definitely going to be shifting your perspective and your mindset, maybe even the way that you just kind of go about things. But I do think this is going to be leading you in a direction that is more on the right path. Something has something has caused you to kind of come to a point of clarity that you're recognizing like something isn't working out. Um, Maybe there are like bad habits or just things that you want to release, people you want to let go of. Just, I don't know, just things that really don't feel all that right to you anymore. And I do think you've come to a place where you're recognizing that. And so you're starting to kind of shift your perspective into one that's like more open and willing to maybe see other opportunities and look into other opportunities. Ooh, here we have the Tower card reversed. So I think by you kind of like awakening to this info and actually taking action and making this shift forward, this, oh my gosh, okay. This is going to be like crisis averted. I think if you don't change your perspective, don't change like the path that you were going on, then you would have a tower moment. But because you are so open and ready for change, you're avoiding that crisis. And due to that, you are going to be healing and letting go of some type of like emotional pain. Maybe this was a heartbreak or a loss, or just like a loss could be a loved one, or it could be maybe a house, or just something that you had that you maybe don't have anymore. If that, makes sense to your situation, or just healing from some past trauma, some past hardships, or getting out of a potentially toxic or just not really good situation. So, yeah, you shifting your mindset and you being bold enough to kind of make that move to want something different for yourself and actually like do something different for yourself is really going to kind of have this like, wow, that really was the best idea for me. It'll definitely be crisis averted and big healing energy. Okay. Here we have the Chariot in reverse. Okay, so the Chariot is all about forward movement. So I do see that there's a little bit of a hesitation and maybe just a little bit of uncertainty on this new step forward. And I do think that's because this is something just totally new and different for you. So even though this is going to be a good choice, it's going to feel a little bit challenging because it's different, and it's going to feel more safe to do the normal thing, even though that's not what's best for us. So this is just kind of calling you to really take note of that and to recognize that if things start to feel a little bit uncomfortable, then that's probably a good thing, and you should probably allow yourself to keep making that forward movement. Here we have the King of Cups in reverse. So I do think this is going to be a highly emotional time, one of just feeling like you're not necessarily as in control of your emotional responses as you would like to be. I feel like for some of you, this is getting out of a bad relationship, or maybe even getting away from bad friendships. Um, Maybe this could also be a really bad work environment, or just like I don't know. I'm really kind of feeling the cutting off of people that don't really like need to be in our lives anymore. So that can be really difficult because even though that's the best thing for us, it can cause us to feel like some emotional confusion because maybe they were our best friend for such a long time. Maybe this is a family member and we've loved them for so long and we don't want to have to do this. So that's why there's hesitation, but this is causing us such a like emotional roller coaster that we're on all the time that we really need to kind of step away from that. And then even moving forward and making that decision, there can still be some moments and thoughts of like kind of unsureness. I mean, that's very natural when stepping away from some type of like bad person or situation when you have grown close to them. So yeah, that makes sense that there would maybe be some hesitation there, but again, this is just kind of your like little message to just be aware of that and know that that's okay and that's part of the process of moving away from something that's not really good for you. Oh, here we have the Justice card. So yeah, you're moving in the right direction. This is going to bring much more balance to your life, much more like peace and calm. The Fool, a new beginning, a new opportunity. Okay, yeah, you are really going to be stepping away from a lifestyle that is holding you back right now, and it's not allowing you to live life as authentically as you would like to be. And due to leaving this all behind, you're just going to bring so much balance in your life and a whole new opportunity lays ahead, lies ahead, I should say. Like the Fool card in the original tarot, he's about to step off a cliff, but he is as happy as can be. Like he is going to take the risk and he has no doubts. He is just ready to go. And so that's what this card represents is you are just kind of in flow and you're like, you know what? I know that this is what's right for me, so I'm not going to doubt it anymore. I'm just going to be in the now and go with it. Here we have the Judgment card. So this is literally listening to your inner calling. This is a rebirth. So a new beginning, a rebirth, starting something new, listening to your intuition, finally living for yourself and trusting yourself. The World card in reverse. Okay, so that is letting go of the things that don't allow you to feel complete. Like the World card is a lot about completion. So sometimes when we have been ignoring our intuition, it can cause us to kind of like not feel whole. Like maybe we don't exactly know what's going on, but we know like something isn't right. And with the Judgment card, this is the universe, like the skies, angels, God, whatever you want to call it. It's literally calling down, like with the trumpet here and saying, wake up, like listen to us, listen to your intuition. Like it is time to quit ignoring yourself because I do feel that that's in a place that you have been, and that has what's caused you to kind of feel a lack of wholeness. So, this is going to be a time for healing and a time for like getting closure. I think that'll be really big and key here. That's something that you're looking for. Maybe if you don't really like realize it, that's something that's going to be really helpful for you. And I do feel like during this time of being able to kind of close this chapter that you've been on and enter this new one, that's going to end up giving you a sense of wholeness. But that is something that you will be kind of finding and discovering along this journey. And then here we have the Five of Wands. So the Five of Wands is like a conflict. It can be a victory, however, it's usually like a victory at what cost though? Like it can be kind of being like really harsh and rude just to be right, if that makes sense. Um, Not all the time, of course, but what I'm trying to get at here is when this is in in the reverse, this is showing me like conflict resolution. So you stepping away from this is going to be taking you away from the conflict, away from the like, I don't know, just the banter if there was any, away from feeling less like who you know you really are, and just more peace. Ooh, expression. So yeah, you're going to be able to express yourself freely and more authentically. Maybe a part of this that was a problem was maybe somebody was not allowing you to express yourself the way that you want to be because maybe they didn't approve of it, or maybe they were just judgmental and that like made you internally feel like you shouldn't do it. So yeah, definitely stepping away from this is going to allow you to just feel more like yourself. Here we have the empathy card. So having empathy for yourself is going to be really huge during this process. Like not getting upset at yourself for maybe not healing as quickly as you'd like to, or just for having the emotions that you have, like coming to a place of acceptance without judgment that this is what you want for yourself, and that it's okay that you're feeling confused even though you know it's what you want for yourself. So just having a little bit more, bringing more love into the situation. And then intuition, listening to your intuition, listening to your gut, just trusting that what you want is what is meant for you. Let's do two more cards here. Balance spirituality and practicality. So making sure you are having like some good practical plans, some ideas that you can maybe like write down and apply in your life, but also making sure you're taking time to find gratitude and like ground yourself and just connect with the earth more, connect with yourself more. If meditating is a thing, then that could be really great for you. So just having a good balance between relaxation and connection and making actual physical forward movement. Oh, yeah, your dreams need a practical plan. Look at that. So, not only just saying like, okay, like, I think in this time frame, like I'm really going to do this. Like having those ideas, sometimes just being in planning mode is procrastination in disguise. So, making sure that you can have a little bit of a game plan, but then being like, okay, I'm just going to do it and I'm not going to not do it, and that's going to just help you move forward. So, actually taking action on those things. Okay, let's do. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, what is happening? I'm dropping every card. Okay, here we have believe. So believe in yourself, believe in the impossible, even though that this might feel really confusing and just really uncertain because it's something so new for you. Believe in it. It'll be okay. And like I said earlier, what you want is meant for you, and what is meant for you will find you. So, yeah, that was your reading group number 2. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please feel free to let me know in the comments down below what you thought, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Okay, group number 3, this is going to be your reading for your November of 2024 prediction. So, let's get into it. Okay, group 3. What do we have for November? Okay, so you are in a current state of overthinking and worry, and I feel like maybe the way things have been going in life for you is causing you to have some doubts about what is going to be coming in your near future, and maybe even your long term like goals and visions and everything. I just feel like it's maybe put you in a place of just not being really sure of what's to come. And maybe there's some self doubt in there. And just like this card can signify depression and anxiety and overthinking. And yeah, so I feel like that's kind of the way life has been making you feel lately. And that's causing you to kind of already have this worry about what's going to be happening next month. I didn't mean to drop this. Okay. Let's see. What else can we get onto this? Okay, we have the Queen of Swords in reverse. So this shows that there is a lack of clarity and a lack of direction. And here we have the Six of Cups. Okay, something from your past, whether it's happened recently or like far in the past, it's just going to vary for you guys. But due to an experience that you have had in your past, that is causing you to worry about what's to come. And that is what's causing this uncertainty and this lack of direction, because I think you are fearful of the thing that you don't want to happen again. Or you maybe just have been so hurt by whatever the specific thing is that it has made you feel like you have no direction. Whoa, okay. I feel like this one's like kind of deep. I am so sorry if this is, but it'll be helpful. Okay. So, yeah, whatever has kind of happened in your past, whatever has hurt you is just kind of causing this block on your mental clarity, and that is causing a block of which direction you should be going. So I feel like in the month of November, you're coming to a place of more like recognition and acceptance and understanding that that's kind of the position that you've been in for a little while. And I think the month of November is going to be a big time of reflection and healing from past traumas. So, and of course, that's a whole process in itself. That's not just going to be all done in the month of November, but I do believe that that is the start of kind of like really facing these things and recognizing them and just getting some ideas on how you can move forward. Okay, yeah, we have the Eight of Wands. So this is a card of forward movement and taking action and making moves. So I think this is going to be a month of really planning and just kind of getting to know yourself and your subconscious a little bit more. We have the Two of Swords in reverse. So that shows some indecision. So that makes sense that there's a lack of clarity in the direction that you're going and a little bit of anxiety and overthinking there. And that's causing you to not be really sure what direction you want to go with this. But just keep in mind that not making a choice is still making a choice. Okay. So, as annoying as that is to hear, that is what it is. So, make the choice to just try something. Even if it doesn't work, like, hey, at least you tried it. Now you can try something else. So you're just really going to be like, I see almost making like a pros and cons list of like the different directions you could be going. Just kind of like write it down, journal. Just get your thoughts out of your brain in some form or fashion and just allow yourself to be able to like physically get your thoughts in order. And that's going to help bring some clarity on making a decision. Yeah, so right now you have been really bound by your thoughts. That is what the Eight of Swords indicate. It's just feeling like really constricted by your thoughts. And that's what's also causing the uncertainty on making these decisions here. Okay, so there are too many choices. There's too many directions you can go, and that's overwhelming you. You're not sure which direction you can go because you're not quite sure which one is actually going to be promising in bringing what it is that you would like. Again, that kind of fear of is the same thing going to happen. Um, for some of you, this may be a like a relationship type of situation where you really want to start making forward movement on maybe getting out of your comfort zone, like meeting new people, talking to people. Maybe you want to start dating, but due to some trauma that you have been through in the past, that is what's kind of coming up and is causing you to feel a little bit unsure and a little bit like fearful that, even though there's all these people out there, like, can you really trust them? Are they really not going to hurt you? So that could be one situation here that I'm really getting. Another one could be like this could just be any emotional hardship. Maybe this could be with like reconnecting with family if that's something that you want to do and maybe things have been a little bit tricky. This could also be friendships as well. And for some of you, this could even be like a workplace environment. Like maybe you have just not been treated well in the workplace, and now your other options of work there is an okay amount, but it's still like a little too overwhelming, and there's just not enough direct answers. So maybe that's what's causing you to feel stuck. So, however, this applies to your specific situation, it's that same general, like kind of meaning there. Okay, so here we have the moon in reverse. So this is releasing fear, releasing that negativity, letting go of the fact that you are like letting go of the idea that you are in control because you are literally not. The only thing you have control over is the way you respond, your reactions. And when we can let go of that fear, let go of that lack mindset, kind of put our walls down and open ourselves up to more opportunity, it will bring so much more opportunity. This will bring abundance, whether this is in the form of actual money or abundance in love, abundance in just joy and harmony and happiness, like just things kind of feeling right. Like she is living her best life and she's just really enjoying all the fruits of her labor. Like that's what the pentacles represent here. And she's also just like pretty chill and relaxed. That is something that I often that often comes up with the pentacle cards because it's very like earth grounding energy. So I do think once you can let go of this fear and anxiety, you're just gonna be stepping into a position that's more grounded and more calm. And instead of such like fast paced, worrisome thinking, you're gonna be able to just really like take your time and be able to feel confident in making choices. And then here we have the Knight of Wands in the reverse. So it can feel a little bit tricky to get that initial motivation going of making these moves, because I feel like that's the hardest part, is like first getting started in it, because it's so unfamiliar and it's going to feel really exhausting. But once you can persevere and just keep like just get over the first few hard days, or maybe the first hard week of staying true to those boundaries, whatever it is that you're setting for yourself, and then it'll start to feel a little bit easier to let go of all these things. Okay, let's get into some oracle cards, see what else we have here. We have insight. So this is looking inward at your subconscious mind a little bit more. So again, like, why have these thoughts been winning rather than your goals and hopes and dreams? Getting some more insight from yourself in that way. Like maybe taking some time to meditate a little bit, or just connect with yourself a little bit more, connect with the earth a little bit more. Clarity. Yay. So once you start making these choices, even though it feels so confusing right now, the more intentional choices that you make, whether they end up turning out how you want them to be or not, that is what's going to get you to more clarity, to a better place of understanding. It's only going to help you move forward. Here we go, perseverance. So I think I was saying that a little bit ago with the Knight of Wands reverse. So really just stick to it. Don't give up on yourself, because that is basically your biggest obstacle right now is yourself, and believing in yourself and believing that there is better out there for you. Nothing is yet set in stone. So, this is always some wonderful reassurance that our past and our current situation do not define us, and we can always work towards a happier, better outcome. Conclusions are within reach. So, I really do think deep down, you know exactly what it is that you want and need from yourself, as far as like your goals, which direction you want to be going, how you want to be treated, how you want to feel, how you want communication to feel. And because of that, and because of your courage to start moving in this direction, things are going to start working out for you. You're going to be getting more closure. Oh, and then we have provide. So you're going to be providing more for yourself, more of that happiness for yourself, more just kind of everything. Like, again, I feel like for some of you, this is getting out of a relationship and maybe just being able to provide some self love and self encouragement, and really like step into your own. And that's going to empower you to be able to like move forward and meet new people, and whatever, if that applies to your particular situation. But either way, no matter what the situation is, provide is all about just being able to bring exactly what it is that you need to yourself, being okay with being enough for yourself. Okie dokie. So that was your reading group number 3. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know it down in the comments below what you thought, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Group number 4, this is going to be your reading for November of 2024 predictions. So let's go ahead and get right into it. I keep hitting my little stand. Okay, hopefully that wasn't too shaky. Okay, group number 4, let's go ahead and get into your November reading. Oh, so we have the Fool card. So you're going to be embarking on a new journey. This is going to be a good one. The Fool card is all about like optimism and just kind of having an open mind to what's ahead of you, and just stepping in a direction that's going to be a little bit more exciting and a bit more fun. I do see that you have been going through some financial hardship, or maybe just a place of not feeling quite stable. As far as like maybe it's your home life, your family dynamic, or maybe like just where you're spending the most like a majority of your time. So even if that's work, like something's just not feeling quite right. But I do feel like for most of you, this is like financial hardship or just being maybe like paycheck to paycheck or a little bit worse or a little bit better, just however it may be for you. So maybe for a lot of you, you're going to be stepping into a new career path, or just not necessarily it having to be a new career path, but maybe even like a little side hustle. But whatever this is, it actually brings you excitement and joy, and that's why there's such a like readiness to go and such an optimism and excitement for it, because like maybe it's not the worst thing if it doesn't work out, but it would be freaking cool if it does work out. So I see you like taking the initiative in November to start that journey, no matter how perfect or unperfect it is. And I think that's really key here, because whenever you focus on perfectionism, like, and waiting to do the thing until it's perfect, you're never going to get anywhere. Like, you have to start when it's not that great so you can learn while you do it. And that is how it goes. And here we have the Five of Cups. So again, that's like focusing too much on like the what wasn't right, what hasn't gone wrong, past failures, current things that you're a little bit insecure about. And because that focus is all the way over here, we don't even recognize that there are still two full cups that have not been knocked over behind us. We're kind of putting a wall up to where we're like blocking off our own opportunity. So shifting not only into a mindset of like, you know what, I'm just going to let go and go for it and make moves in that direction, but also shifting into the mindset of being more positive and optimistic rather than pessimistic. So, like, I use this example in another one because it kind of made sense. So, I'm going to use it again here. Um, let's say you create something and you're selling something, you go to like a market and you only sell like two things. You can have the mindset of, oh my gosh, I only sold two things. This sucks. I did such a bad job. Nobody's ever going to want to buy stuff from me because nobody wanted to buy stuff from me today. Or you can have the mindset of, yay, I sold two things. Even though it's two things, I am super proud of myself because that's way better than zero things. Let's say you sold zero things. You can say, I am so proud of myself for showing up here today because even though nobody bought anything, I still put my time and my effort and my energy into what brings me joy, into what I really wanted to do. And that in itself is a big accomplishment. So shifting over into that mindset. Yeah, here we have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. So I think you've been really focused on the lack of abundance or the lack of money flow that you've been having in your life. And that's what's kind of caused you to feel so stuck and unsure of this forward movement. We have the King of Wands in reverse. So it's put you in a position of feeling like you are not taking charge of your life. So this new journey that you'll be embarking on is really just starting to kind of step into your power, take control, take leadership of what it is that you want. Ooh, okay. We have the Devil card and the Knight of Pentacles. So the Devil card can represent procrastination or things that we need to let go of that we are still holding on to. So I do believe that that negative mindset, that lack mindset, is something that we are so attached to because maybe that's what we've been going through for a really long time. And our subconscious brain starts to, once it's had that thought and that worry of not having enough, um, our subconscious starts to believe that we will always not have enough. And then you can kind of get stuck in that mindset, and that can, be like an attachment that can keep you down. It can keep you locked down. And the thing is with the Devil card, like, these people have chains around their neck. Can you see that? I think so. Hold on. Okay, these people have chains around their neck, but they could easily take them off. They're just choosing not to. So that's kind of the thing here. You need to be able to actively make that choice, even when it feels hard to step away from constantly thinking that things are always going to be stressful and never be okay. And with the Knight of Pentacles, this is motivation and forward movement, progress, and taking action. And again, with it being the Pentacles, it represents money. And the thing about the Knight of Pentacles, though, is that this is like the slowest moving suite. So this is not going to be a quick fix. So you really have to stay in this mindset and like in this mindset of the optimistic and hopeful and just ready to go. Because as you continue on this journey, even though it is the right path, it is going to be a little bit more slower moving. And that can sometimes cause us to get a little bit impatient or like second guess our choices. Okay, so we have the Three of Cups. So I see there being a celebration with loved ones or friends on your decision to kind of embark on this new journey and this new mindset. People are going to be really proud of you for it. And being able to celebrate the little tiny baby wins, even, is going to be so helpful in that motivation. Okay, so you have the Eight of Cups in reverse. So maybe this is something that you've tried before and you're trying it again as far as like this opportunity, or maybe you have tried to get out of a lack mindset before, but that just hasn't been quite successful. But the Eight of Cups is all about, like in the reverse position, all about returning to something. Oh, you know what? This is also kind of where, yeah, having the Knight of Wands in reverse. Okay, so again, I said a little bit ago, like it may feel easier to slip back into that negative cycle because that's what we're so used to. That's kind of our comfort zone, even though that's not at all what we want for ourselves. So, this is going to be a slow progression forward. So, this healing, this movement forward is going to be a little bit slow, and there's going to be some ups and some downs. And that will maybe cause a little bit of uncertainty, a lack of motivation, may make you feel a little frustrated, but just please have a deep knowing that this is the right direction and to just have a more open mindset, have a more opportunity, abundance, hopeful mindset than never, probably won't, and hopefully doesn't kind of mindset, you know? That is going to be super, super key in your progression forward. So, yeah, the month of November is going to be just really kind of like addressing that with yourself and facing these new opportunities to kind of practice having that mindset that you want. And also, whenever you do maybe slip back into that old way of thinking, because that's just kind of inevitable when anybody tries to change a way of thinking. But whenever you do kind of slip back into that, to just be a little bit more gentle with yourself and not like get mad at yourself for feeling that way. Okay, here we have eudaimonia. So this is a card of like happiness, actual happiness. So doing something what brings you joy is going to be really helpful in this. Like there needs to be a balance between your work life and your home life and your hobby life and all of that. So I see you like doing more things that actually bring you joy, even if it's just little things around the house. Like something that just changes my whole mood is opening up my curtains and lighting a candle. I'm like, wow, I'm a whole new woman. So that brings me just a little bit of joy, which brings me a little bit more motivation and all of that sort of thing. Okay, here we have initiation. So taking the first step, making the first move to initiate this change. That is you, the full card. And then we have resolve. So this card talks about like knowing exactly what it is that you want for yourself and being able to achieve it, get to your place of resolve. So this shows that you are headed in the right direction. Your mind is focused on the right thing. It's just being okay with kind of going with the flow of the journey to getting there. Because again, it's not super linear, but that is okay. That is the beauty of journeys. You and your loved ones are safe. So that's a good reminder that even when things feel really scary or unsure or unstable, that you and your loved ones are safe. This is like also a message that you are protected from your guides and just your spirit team, however you see it fits best for you. But you are looked after, you are protected, and everything is going to be okay. This is just a temporary moment. Don't let pride get in your way. Okay, so this can kind of come into play whenever we start falling back into like old patterns. We can maybe like unintentionally come up with excuses as to why we have fallen back into that pattern. Even if it like kind of makes sense, it's actually our brains just trying to help us not feel guilty about getting into the old pattern. So don't let pride get in your way. Allow yourself to kind of allow yourself to own up to being like, okay, you know what? I didn't handle that the best way, and I'm going to acknowledge that and I'm going to do better. Or, you know what? Maybe I should have not put this certain part of my project off for this long because now I'm stressed. Instead of being like, meh, it's it's fine. Who actually cares? It doesn't actually matter if I dedicate my time to this. Oh, and then we have joy. So stepping into a life that's more joyful, just a little bit more fun, more lighthearted. You're gonna have more time to actually like do things for yourself that are really fun and to just bring more activities into your life that are fun, like bonding with friends, bonding with family, and just kind of being more in the moment and not really worrying about what is fully to come. So, yeah, so the month of November is just kind of starting, embarking on this journey, and then what all is going to come from that. So, this is not all happening in the month of November, but the beginnings of this, the forward movement of this is happening in November, and then the rest will come. So that is your reading group number 4. I really hope you enjoyed it. And please let me know in the comments below what you thought. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.